This is East Carolina All-American Bryant Packard, and we're talking Pirate baseball in the Sports Objective.
Good.
I can promise you that.
You're watching Extra Innings, presented by PGXGloves.com on the Sports Objective. Join us every Sunday night on Facebook Live, our YouTube channel, and X as we talk East Carolina baseball. We'll analyze the previous week while also taking a look at what lies ahead. Now, let's talk Pirate baseball.
Welcome into Extra Innings right here on the Sports Objective. Great week for the Pirates as they go 4-0 and feels very good. A lot better definitely on the baseball diamond than the basketball court. That goes without saying. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the great city and town of LaGrange, I'm talking about my good buddy Kyle from LaGrange. Bob.
Hey, what's going on, Dave? It's good to be 4-0. Wilmington Tuesday night was a mess, but it was good to get the W. And then handle business this weekend against Columbia was basically going through the motions. I mean, it was almost too easy, even though sometimes the game's got a little competitive today. But I don't. I mean, it was just almost seemed too easy to get that sweep.
And by the way, Sarah Sanders says, Kyle, I didn't know you were umpiring today at third base. And
What?
I don't know what that means, but it says, good evening, Kyle. Good evening, guys.
Was there bad calls?
Kyle's twin was working third base today, is what Justin said. I didn't get a chance to be at the game today.
A fat guy with a mustache and goatee? Let me tell you something, guys. If there's one thing you guys don't want, you don't want me umpiring any damn thing. I promise you that.
He says Bubba can explain. Justin says Bubba can explain.
Bubba, explain.
Kyle, be nice to yourself. Don't call yourself fat, man. You know, something a little nicer, like pleasantly plump.
All right. Obese is crap. How about that? Bubba, explain.
We're off to a great start.
Justin just sent me a picture from the home plate meeting today.
Well, now I want to see it.
And
send it to the group, Bubba. Send it to the group.
Yeah, I'll forward that here in a little while. Yeah. Anyway, he was just saying that he said, "Hey, Kyle's brother was the ump in the game today."
We're missing an opportunity. The sooner I can see this picture, the sooner I can react to it.
Bubba, Justin says, laughing out loud, Bubba's all the way from China Grove in the great town right near Charlotte, and Matt Semenza all the way from the Commonwealth of Connecticut. How's it going, bro?
It's going well, man. Nice, good week of baseball to counteract the bad taste in my mouth from basketball earlier this week. So thank God for baseball, and in a pretty good spot here heading into conference play.
Got to give some love to Shell and Shell Powell, our good friend in Charlotte. He says, "What's up, boys? Guess who's number one in North Carolina in lacrosse? Randy's team is, and they're number 15 in the country, and that's Charlotte Catholic." So. Got to give a shout out to Randy and his team. And by the way, if we ever add men's lacrosse, we have a legacy recruit. Randy Powell is a guy that's been recruited by the biggest schools in the country when it comes to lacrosse. So there you go.
If we had a men's lacrosse anytime soon, I'm going to beat our athletic director with a stick, whoever it might be at the time.
Well, right, we don't have any money, so good. Let's see. Let's start. By the way, our great show is brought to you by PGXGloves.com. They've got everything, man. I'll tell you what, golfing gloves. It's about golf gloves. About time to go to PGXGloves.com and check it out. And like Justin said, what a great weekend for baseball. Thank you, Justin. Yeah. How about by the way, our staff meteorologist, Kyle from LaGrange. I don't know if you can hear me, Kyle, but Matt and Bubba, did you see? I mean,
my internet connection is cutting in and out. But last thing I heard was staff meteorologist.
Yeah, Dave, I think you're having a little lag there. Just a heads up.
That's not even my fault. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's definitely on Dave's end because it's Dave. You might want to go out and come back in. You got a little lag.
Yep.
Yeah. So taking a look at this week, Pirates travel down to the Port City. Big midweek game, as it always is, with the Seahawks on UNC Wilmington there at Brooks Field. Excellent crowd, I think pushing 3,500 or so. But Brooks Field was packed. The Squawk's Nest, as they call it, out in left field, and maybe that left center gap. Nice crowd out there that was letting the Pirate outfielders hear it, according to what we've heard on other shows. And the Pirates certainly did not play well. Coach Godwin said that in the post game, and it really got probably a little bit uglier as the game went along, but found a way to get it done. 8-7 victors in 10 innings, and nice to pick up the midweek win over the Seahawks.
Absolutely, that was a crazy game, man. It was first of all, it was nice to beat them, especially in Wilmington, but it was just one of those crazy games where it almost seemed like, at one point, like we were trying to find ways to give that game away. Obviously, we weren't, but it was just the way it kind of shook out. But nice job in the midweek. Hey, any win for this team on a Tuesday is a great win.
There were times where that game seemed like, it was, you take it. No, you take it. No, we don't want it. You take it. Ugly baseball, really, but competitive game. It was a fun game. We're a much better team than Wilmington. We're much better than one run, but it was good to get the win. We have not played particularly well in the midweek. Hadn't played horrible, just hadn't come away with many wins. So we got Elon. I don't know what the Phoenix are doing so far this year, but that park is conducive to a lot of home runs. So, but nice to get the win over Wilmington Tuesday night, and carried that momentum to the home series against Columbia.
No doubt. Hey guys, we got like you talked about, Justin is saying he thinks the next 4 games are winnable. What do you think?
I would. I would say the next 4 games are winnable. Yeah. UTSA was good last year. What are they doing this year, guys? Bubba?
I think they've been off to a bit of a mediocre start. We'll run through the conference standings here. Hadn't had a chance to see what they did this weekend.
Okay. But, I definitely think we could go 4-0, but at the same time, Elon, that park gives up a lot of home runs, so who knows what will happen. And it's a long trip to San Antonio. So, yeah, we could win the next 4, but quite frankly, if we go 3-1 this week, I'll be happy.
Yeah, baseball is a tricky thing. You have that. By the way, Shell's putting you out there. Semenza, are you coming to hang with me and Jeff Carr Pigskin Weekend?
Shell, I'm working on it. The issue for me is my daughter, who's a senior, has college visits everywhere. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get there and about 12 other places too.
I got an idea.
I'm hoping to, though. That's a perfect weekend, though, because you get the spring football game and
baseball.
It's perfect. So, Shell, I'll definitely
just bring her down for her college visit, her official college visit. Make it that weekend for Greenville for ECU.
Yeah, I would love to.
Just take her one. She only needs to go to one place, ECU, and make it simple. Hey, man,
is ECU on her list, Matt?
It's on the list, but she just got accepted into UConn. UConn is a top 25 public school in America now. Really hard. So I'm pushing her to go there because I want to keep her at home. But yeah, we'll see.
But if she comes to Greenville,
definitely on the list. It's definitely on the list.
You can have a house down here in Greenville, right across from the stadium.
That would be awesome. Yeah, hell yeah, that would be great.
Also, the weather sucks there. Doesn't she want to get to some good weather?
The weather is terrible here, man. Absolutely. I mean, you can't even compare it. You really can't even compare it. So I don't know. We'll see, man. To be continued. She's got some good options, though.
No doubt.
What about Central Connecticut State?
Oh God. Do you guys realize that? Not to get off topic here,
We
but
played them under Lebo. Remember that?
yeah, I do.
And we lost.
That's right. We did lose to them. Yeah. Tony,
Like, just
really
to let ECU fans know how lucky they are to have Pirate baseball in a great environment. Like, teams up here in Northeast, like Boston College, UConn, they don't play a home game. They don't play a home game until like mid-March, until like next week. They don't. All their games they have to travel for. So I don't know if ECU fans know how good they have it down there. And Justin, what do we got? Yeah, man, I hear you. But hey,
free ride.
It could be worse though. It could be worse, right? You got the national championship team.
I don't know. We hate UConn.
Baseball questions, you should have it. I'll let you guys answer that one.
I think, Shell, you were onto something. I think that obviously we talked about it.
I didn't see the question. Let's read the question for the listeners that aren't watching.
Oh, baseball question. He says, "Is Trey Savage a first-round pick?"
Yeah.
Based on right now,
I think so. Yeah.
If he gets
I'm
hurt,
I'm not a draft expert. I would defer. I don't know that any of us are draft experts. I would say Bubba probably of the four of us, but I think he's a first or second round pick just on my limited knowledge of MLB draft. Yeah.
Absolutely, he has that potential. You have D1 baseball, Aaron Fitt. They put out their draft projections, and the top draft eligible pitchers in the country. And entering the season, Aaron Fitt said he was number 3 on their list, behind the guy from Arkansas, and then one other, and that Savage, depending on the matchup, he wouldn't hesitate to say that he's right there. That he may even go with Trey over the other two, depending on the situation. So he definitely has the makings of a first rounder, like Gavin Williams,
former Pirate pitcher for EC. So we just have to wait and see how that plays out. But it's a lot of politics involved, for what I do know from the outside looking in. And like Bubba said, like, what do the teams needs are. But you got a talent like that, like Savage. Why wouldn't you take him? I'm if it doesn't matter if it's football or baseball, I'm taking talent, right, Matt? I mean, it's a first round guy. You got to take talent. Even if you don't need a pitcher, you need to take that guy, because you don't know what's going to happen to other pitchers on your team. And also that he's your future, man. Why wouldn't you go for a guy like him? So I'm not in the.
I certainly would. He's dominant right now. Absolutely dominant. I mean, nobody's been able to touch him. So definitely looks to me like a first round pick.
No question about it. That's what makes the rest of, people are talking about pitching. I think a lot of, you look at, we'll talk about our pgxgloves.com pitcher of the week and player of the week. And I think we know who the pitcher is, but our pitching, the 1-2 punch of Savage and Root make, we have good pitchers, but man, they are top of the charts good. And in fact, there's a lot of people talking about Wake Forest. They just don't have we're talking about bullpen. They don't have, they may have a dudes, but after that, they don't have the dominant pitching like they had in the past year or two.
Yeah, you figured at some point Wake Forest take a little bit of step back. There's a lot of good baseball in this area. A lot of baseball left to be played, but our Friday, Saturday guys are as good as anybody's.
No question. You want to take Bubba? You want to go back to Tuesday night on the road in Wilmington?
Yeah, we started talking about that game some while you were figuring out your tech issues, but yeah, to continue to talk about that 8-7, 10-inning victory over the Seahawks. Pirates were led by J-Dub, Justin Wilcoxon, had an excellent game. I believe it was 4 hits, including a clutch double there. I believe it was the hit that allowed us to take the lead fairly late in that game. And there was an unbelievable crowd there. And I didn't think I was going to be watching the game because it was on Flow Sports, but Flow Sports came through, and it was the game of the week on their YouTube account for free. So you you could go to the YouTube channel, and I was excited to get that midday, and then from Johnny Gardner when he shared it with me. So watching that, and then also had an eye on what was going on with the women's basketball game playing in the conference tournament. But that game, you had like I said, J-Dub coming through, 4-hit game. The clutch hit there late, when it turned into a back and forth game, and really kind of got pretty ugly as far as some of the wild pitches and errors, and maybe plays that weren't necessarily even going down as errors, but defensive miscues, things that Coach Godwin alluded to post game. But he said, "Hey, I'm not going to complain about a victory."
No, and we don't play very well there in Wilmington. So hey, you get that when you escape and you come home, survive and advance, and then you come home to 3 great games with Columbia.
Yeah, but in addition to J-Dub, you had JJC Star. They had 2-hit games. Ryan McChrystal had a 2-hit game. So you had at least 4, maybe 5 Pirates with multi-hit days against UNC Wilmington. And then where I was going when I was talking about that Flow Sports broadcast of the game on YouTube, that was the broadcast team was pretty entertaining, and they gave credit to the Pirate fans that were there at Brooks Field. As our fans often do, when there's a 3-ball count and the other team's pitcher is struggling with his command, they'll come to their feet and just make a ton of noise. And they did that on Tuesday night. And they said these East Carolina fans are loud. And so I just thought that was funny, and I was glad that they couldn't hide it, but because of they didn't have the crowd mic the way Charlotte did last year in downtown Charlotte to try to disguise it.
No doubt. And, people, Matt, I know that your dad and stepmom were there at the game, and they've been pulling really hard for East Carolina with the baseball team. So that's very cool. In fact, you need to go ahead and tell them to get ready for regionals in Greenville, baby. They're going to be coming north again.
Oh, they already committed to that for sure. But
first weekend in June.
Yeah, they really I don't know what the term is, caught the fever, I guess, for ECU baseball. They're really enjoying it, and they saw the Parker Bird story, and they really started following Parker Bird, praying for his success and everything, and it kind of got them more involved in the program. So they had a great time.
By the way, for those that didn't know, Parker is actually going to be on the college summer league team. New Bern has a new team, the New Bern Southpaws, and he's going to be on that team. So if you're a Pirate fan and you're in northeastern North Carolina, or maybe you're like Matt's family down in southeastern North Carolina, there in the Wilmington area, the New Bern Drive is not bad. Beautiful town too on Highway 17. Love it, and a lot to do there. A lot of great restaurants and Tryon Palace, and of course the Pepsi Museum. I know.
Yeah, I would highly recommend MJ's if you like Obey, Maryland, Chesapeake Bay style seafood. MJ's downtown New Bern is excellent.
I have to check it out. Love going to restaurants. I'm a foodie. But anyway, let's get back to that was great though, Matt. Appreciate your dad and stepmom for. It's always great to get more Pirates. Hey, and I was thinking about this too, guys. For the game, for what's really cool is how great is it. John Bream, our good friend Dr. Bream, said it should have been a yard gnome. Well, we have that for Greenville, so that's our team name. But that's a whole nother show, as they say. But as far as the Pirates,
it's just horrible.
Yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut. I can't stand I can't stand that name. It just drives me crazy.
What is the name, guys? What is the name?
Greenville has a team at Guy Smith Stadium. Back in the day, the reason we have Guy Smith Stadium in the 50s and 60s, we had a minor league team in Greenville called the Greenville Greenies. That's bad enough, right? The Greenies, it's just so generic. Well, hell, the Yard Gnomes is I'll take Greenies every day over the Yard Gnomes.
Yeah, that's
Gnomes are very weird looking to me. I don't know.
You know what we have here in Hartford? We have a team called the Yard Goats.
Hey, there you
And
go.
of all the teams, this team was established like 5 years ago. But of all the names you can come up with, the Yard, I thought that was terrible. So yeah, not good.
Yard goats. Are there goats in Connecticut?
Why not just play into what's already here and call them like the Greenville Bucks or the Greenville
Works.
One of the popular names on social media was Peg Legs.
Peg
I'll
legs. Yeah,
take
that'll
that.
work. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Who cares? But anyway, back to Pirate baseball. You know what we do care about as we take on Columbia this weekend. And can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm paranoid with my connection. So we take on Columbia this weekend, and
First game is just
from the
jump.
Ivy League, and yeah. Well, I really thought, even though today's game was a little bit competitive, yeah, I really thought it was basically going through the motions all weekend. I don't. I mean, we would have had to have just came out and committed a ton of errors, I think, to lose to this team.
Yeah, I agree. 17-3, Bubba, that first game, and wow, we really jumped on them. And the great thing about this team, I'm gonna say really quick, the team with the fight in this team, and the fact that they pounced on this team. They're beating the teams that they should, like Columbia, and we're dominating and not struggling. I know today's game, but Sunday's games are tricky like that. But we dominated, what was it, 30 some runs to 7? 33 to 7, I think, for runs. Something like that off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, we won the game 17-3, 8-0, and then 8-6. So
Yeah. So it's 33 runs
That's
to
9
7.
runs. 9.
But Trey Savage, another excellent effort, as you would expect, and struck out 10, allowed just one hit, or maybe it's 2 hits, and allowed 1 run, and that came on a solo oppo bomb. Just left a pitch a little up, and the guy was able to hit it out right field. It was really a no doubter, but if I'm recalling correctly, I believe the wind was blowing out, and just one of those. As soon as it came off the bat, you knew it was gone. But after that first inning, Trey settled in, and I don't believe he surrendered a hit the rest of the way. But and then obviously 17 runs speaks for itself. You got the runs for the most part in 3 innings. You had a 4-run inning, a 4-run inning, and then there late, I believe it was the bottom of the 8th, either the bottom of the 7th or 8th. We put up an 8 spot to really, put it out of reach. But obviously in a game like that, you had a lot of guys seeing playing time. You had Parker Bird get another at bat. They come very close to an opposite field, hit down the right field line. But unfortunately, like I mentioned, it was windy. That wind pushed it foul. And but Parker had an excellent ovation and really had a quality at bat, even though he ended up striking out. He fouled off probably 3 or 4 pitches on solid contact, one of which was the one I referenced, and then I believe it was either a 2-2 or 3-2 pitch on which he struck out. But there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to get a hit or a few hits before the season's over.
No question. That guy's got fight. He's got guts. He's got grit. And if you don't take him for granted, that guy is really good as a batter and competitor. He's been fighting really hard to be where he is a huge story. And the fact that he has come on, he got the walk, and now he had another opportunity. Like you said, he had a great at bat, and he's going to have many. I think he'll have more.
And he didn't want the walk. You could tell. I would like to know which Houston shit. If Godwin was coaching him up to swing away and try to get ahead, or if he would have rathered him take the walk. But you could tell he was trying to get ahead, and there was one of them. Man, he hit, he made contact, and you thought it was gonna. For a moment, you thought it was gonna be gone, and then you thought it was gonna be a nice long
Yeah.
single or double, depending on how he could run the bases. And unfortunately, it went foul.
Well, that won't be his last at bat, and he'll get more chances. The fact that he's doing well, so really proud of him, and what a great story, not only for
I want to
baseball.
see. I want us to put him in a situation where it matters. And just see the crowd just lose their mind and see how he would perform in that situation. It would be so electric in there. It would almost be, you would seem like he would almost guarantee it would. It seems like he's either strike out or get a hit, one of the two.
Well, what would be great is if at the regional in Greenville this year. I'm putting it out there. It's going to happen. And imagine if we host a regional in Greenville this year, and Parker Bird comes up like the pinch hit, and whether it's a big situation or not, can you imagine in a regional like atmosphere if that guy gets a hit? It'd be incredible.
Just any kind of meaningful situation, any hit
Yeah.
in any game, but any meaningful situation, it would be even bigger. But anyway, we'll move on to Saturday's game.
Yeah, what a performance by guys by Root.
Yeah, Zach Root went 6 innings, 87 pitches. Probably could have gone longer, but no reason to tax him here with conference play about to start up. And I know I don't believe this was asked in the post game, but I do know either in the first or second inning, Coach Godwin came out, and Scott Rogers and Coach O on the broadcast were talking about what may be going on, but obviously Coach Godwin was satisfied with what he saw and in that situation, because he went another 4 or 5 innings after that, and not only did he go 4 or 5 innings, he surrendered just 1 hit and 6 shutout innings of work, struck out 7 or 8, walked just 1, and another fine performance by Zach Root, who improved to 3-0. And as a result of that is our PGXGloves.com Pitcher of the Week. So congratulations to Zach on being this week's PGXGloves.com Pitcher of the Week.
No question about it, man. What a performance, guys. Like I said earlier in the show, that guy is special, and so is our Friday night guy. And man, what a 1-2 punch. I'll tell you one thing, those guys stay healthy. We're going to have a great June. That's all I'm saying right now. I don't know what's going to happen, obviously, but man, those guys have been so much fun to watch. And hey, let's see what happens the rest of the season. But so far, so good, right?
Yeah, pitching Friday and Saturday, especially those 2 starters are excellent with you Savage and Root. I mean, you can't ask for any better than what they've done so far. And if those kind of performances continue, yeah, I mean, you set yourself up nicely to win most of your series, if not all your series in conference. And if we can do a little better in the midweek, we would stand a good chance to host.
Guys, I wanted to ask you real quick, as far as being number 11 this week, and I know we have friends that say don't pay attention to the rankings, but as far as East Carolina sweeping, is that going to put maybe we'll crack in the top 10, maybe 8th or 9th? I don't know how.
Obviously, it depends on.
Yeah.
Obviously, not the hardest strength of schedule for us this week, and yeah, you had a nice midweek win over a quality club, a team that's typically in the top 50 or so in the RPI, but or right outside. But Columbia, although they're off to a rough start, they've had an extremely challenging schedule. 3 games at Florida. Last week they were playing UC Irvine and Fresno State, so hopefully they'll live up to their preseason expectations. They were picked 2nd in that league, so maybe they'll win it as they often do. We squared off with them a couple times in regional play. And down in Conway, I remember TJ Hose shutting them down, and then they beat us down in Coral Gables back in Cliff's first year in 2015 to eliminate us. But the rankings, number one, not that worried about it, but not familiar with, had not had a chance to look at the weekend's results to see if those teams ahead of us may have dropped some games where where we can move forward in the rankings. But I know you had Wake Forest; they had dropped to 7th or so, and then you had UVA was 9th or 10th. I know UVA won at least one of those games, but not sure what happened. I'm not sure if it was Wake winning 2 out of 3 or UVA winning the series.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, the SEC and ACC teams that have been so good for so long, and a lot of them that are above us. How do they do? So we shall see, and we'll definitely be talking about that throughout the show. But Bubba, with the Saturday's game with Root, I mean, you know, with getting a shutout, how special is that?
I know the pitchers love it, and what I mean by that is because unless it's changed, when they deliver a shutout like that, they get to take BP, and the pitchers love to get out there and attempt to hit some bombs in batting practice. So, and that is a nice aspect of it, but obviously otherwise, that's something that's not easy to do, and we've done it at least I think a few times already.
At least twice, right? Off the top of my head.
Yeah,
maybe 3 times, but it's at least twice.
And another point I was going to make: we're 14-4 overall, but 13-2 on the weekend. So we've swept Ryder, we swept Liberty, now we swept Columbia. You took 2 out of 3 from a top 15 team like North Carolina, and you took 2 out of 3 on the LeClaire weekend, with your only loss, being that 11-9 decision to Southeastern Louisiana, who we know is a quality club, and nearly beat number 2 LSU right after that.
And Bubba, I checked. This is our 3rd shutout, as we beat Ryder 7-0 both on Saturday and Sunday to begin the season, and then yesterday's game being Saturday. If you're just joining us or listening to us archived or on the traditional podcast, we won Saturday 8-0. So our 3rd shutout of the season, and like you said, Bubba, really strong. Does anybody know our RPI?
No,
out of curiosity,
I normally don't look at RPI until at least April, because it's kind of quirky early in the season. But John White, I appreciate that, John. He said Wake did indeed lose 2 out of 3 at Virginia, so they had dropped a series to Duke, and now they dropped a series to UVA. Florida State's getting ready to vault into the top 25. Link Jarrett has them at 18-0.
That's
hard to believe. Is that not crazy, guys, to think that Florida State's 18-0 and they're not in the rankings? Who would have thought that? But they took all 3 as they swept the Fighting Irish, Link Jarrett's former program, Notre Dame.
That is crazy. And 18-0, man, what a great job Jarrett's doing. But it is his alma mater, and they have a deep tradition there, baseball tradition at Florida State with Mike Martin. So it doesn't surprise me as far as resources, but as far as 18-0, that's just that's crazy nuts. But
our RPI took a hit this week with playing Columbia. Even with the sweep, we are down to 26 right now with RPI, which it'll come up with some of the midweek games we have.
Oh yeah,
and conference play. But right now, 26 RPI.
Thank you, Kyle.
And that's Warren Nolan.
And the formula changed this year, so that's something to keep an eye on as well.
The formula by the selection committee, how much they value RPI, is that what you mean?
No, just the formula for calculating RPI.
How do they do that?
Okay.
I'll look up the article.
Is Nolan using a new formula, or is it going to be, because normally Warren Nolan and the official NCAA RPIs are pretty much
they're normally no more than one or 2 places off, but they'll pretty much match up with the official NCAA RPI, but
which they don't even release that yet, so that's why you got to go by Warren Nolan at this point in the season.
But I'll look to see that formula is something that I had screenshot and intended on bringing up on our preseason show, but didn't get around to it. But we'll talk about that. And it seems like I heard Coach Godwin reference it in one of his other preseason chats, and it seems like he and other coaches were in favor of it and liked the way it would benefit the Pirates.
By the way, Shell brought up a great point, how Dixon Williams at third base is really coming along, the sophomore from local D.H. Conley. Great to see him doing well.
Yeah, Dixon had his second home run over the weekend, and he had at least one multi-hit game, and it's great to see some start to fall and obviously leave the yard because he's had some tough luck. I know the game that I attended, the Friday game up at Liberty, his first at bat, he hit a rocket to the right fielder who didn't have to move, and he's had quite a bit of unfortunate luck like that early in the season. But you keep having the quality ABs, then the hits will come.
Yeah, we were talking about AMAC not coming back this year, and but you see that Dixon Williams being a sophomore, so we have this year and next year for sure, and doing great. We need guys like him. And Matt, I tell you one thing, J-Dub is another one that's coming on strong. Bubba, what a great week he had. And today, I know off the top of my head, I know today he was 3 of 4, but he was really good. And we've got to have his bat and his defense to make it. We've got the good news is we got 3 quality catchers. That's the most depth we've had in a while behind the plate.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see contributions from more people, and it's a more well-rounded lineup than it was a few weeks ago. And I was really encouraged by Will Coxon going yard today because his power bat, last year he had a ton of home runs. His power bat in the lineup is going to make a huge difference. And then, the other guys, you see Bristol Carter. I mean, his average is now up to 325, I want to say.
He's an incredible player, man.
So, true freshman. So the more contribution, listen, what you're going to get from Carter Cunningham. You know what you're going to get from JJC. Starling obviously gives you offensive production. Did it again today. So you know what you're going to get from those guys. But when you can get contributions top to bottom, now you have a team that's really trending in the right direction.
No doubt about it. It's got a hitting streak, Bubba, going along there for Carter Cunningham. And really, that's really awesome to see. And I know this is the longest streak since, is it Connor Norby? I think off the top of my head.
That's probably right. I'm not sure. I knew that Carter had a hit in every game this season. Those streaks typically.
He has a 18 game hitting streak. It's the longest since Connor Norby. I was right. Put together a 20 game during the 21 campaign. So yeah, I didn't know how many that Connor had back in 21, but I remember it was just a few years ago. But a 20 game hitting streak. So he has a hit in 18 games. So you're right, Bob. All 18 games, he has at least one hit, and really proud of him. He could have been gone. We could have not had him last year and this year.
Yep, most of those games, obviously multi-hit games as well. And you have him batting well over 400. You may have that exact number in front of you, Dave, but and I know Jacob Jenkins Cowart was just shy of 400. Had another solid week. I think 3 multi-hit games for JJC. Beginning with a 2-hit performance on 2 for 6 against the Seahawks on Tuesday night. And then I know he had a 3-hit game, one of the games this weekend.
Yeah, he's been on fire, and we'll see how Carter Cunningham. But Matt, you were talking about J-Dub, Carter Cunningham, and he was the one that I was like, I hope that we can have a huge season. And he's been red hot, and hopefully we can keep him that way and not have. I know baseball is a marathon, not a sprint, as far as you're going to have highs and lows and slumps. But I just pray to God that if there is a slump, it will be not much.
Yeah, J-Dub had a heck of a week. JJC had a 7-hit week, so did Justin Wilcox, and didn't have any hits in the first 2 games against Columbia, but had a 4-hit day night against the Seahawks, including that the big double down the right field line that I referenced. It was just fair by inches, and then you had a 3-hit game today, including you had a home run by J Dub, and I believe that was today's game. But he has 3 home runs now in the season. Does Justin Wilcoxon, and that batting average has climbed up to just shy of 300. I think 287 or so to be exact.
Yeah, Wilcoxon got some power to his bat, hitting the ball well.
And because of that 7 out of 16 week, a home run, a double, and not only a double, but that it was a very critical hit, clutch situation down against the Seahawks, and then drove in at least 5, maybe more runs. Also reached base a time or 2 via free passes. So heck of a week for J-Dub. And because of that, he is our PGXGloves.com Player of the Week.
There you go. Justin Wilcoxon with the PGX Club's Player of the Week. And what does he get for that, Bubba? Does PGX Clubs send him a special customized gloves in the mail?
We need to work that out. That's something that I'm sure in this NIL era it can be done, but do that in an appropriate way. But honestly, with our deals that we have, I honestly don't know. But it'd be nice if something like that could be done between PGXGloves.com, former player Mark Minikazi, and Pirate Baseball.
Yep.
No doubt. Hey, by the way, guys, Johnny Robertson said, besides his hitter streak, going back to Carter Cunningham, Carter has also scored a run or had an RBI in every game except for Cal State Fullerton. How about that?
That's impressive. Must have took the day off in that Fullerton game, but that's very impressive. That's consistency, to put it simply.
Yeah, well, he had a hit in every game. So he did get a hit in the Fullerton game. He just didn't get an RBI.
No.
So
slacker.
What else can he do? But we've got to keep him going, keep him red hot. And guys, what want to get your thoughts? One of the topics you hear every week by Pirate fans. Get your thoughts on the bullpen.
They were fine this weekend. Really weren't needed very much. Not a really good week to test the bullpen.
I know,
but
it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, you had some quality bullpen performances. Wyatt Lunsford Shinkman pitched well. You had a rough outing today for Jaden Winter, allowed 3 runs, a 3-run bomb there in the top of the 8th. Growler pitched pretty well against UNC Wilmington, pitched pretty well in an outing against Columbia in the first 2 games, and then today he gave up a 2-run jack there in the top of the 9th. You had some other solid outings out of the pen as well, so it's kind of a mixed bag. Not as well as they performed probably the previous week, but some bright spots.
Danny Beal got the win today, right?
Yeah, you had some solid outing by DB, which was nice to see.
Yeah, Beal was, there were some hits against him, had some runners on base, oftentimes like men on first and second, runners in scoring position, but he was able to battle through it and get out of those innings, without giving up runs. So I think this team.
Yeah, I think he surrendered 3 hits to Matt's point, but was able to navigate that and 2 shutout innings, I believe, or 2 and a fraction or something.
Yeah, he 45 is the real deal, and he's a great guy. I just love his competitiveness. I think you guys, if you're around him, you would see how competitive that guy is, and he's the kind of guy, Matt, that he gets the ball and he don't like coming out. I mean, he's ready to go batter after batter after batter. You love those guys that are real competitors.
Oh, no doubt about it. And, you just feel like this team is going to go as that bullpen goes. If we can get great production from the bullpen, it's going to be a great year.
Hey, Matt, by the way, St. Patrick's Day, you got any specialty drink for us? Happy St. Patty's Day to everybody. I know we're the latter part of it, but you've got
I don't have a special drink, but I did have the movie Leprechaun on the TV earlier. That's one of my St. Kyle's probably familiar with that movie.
Yeah, it's a horror movie. Yeah, I know it.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah, Leprechaun. There's several of those movies.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Leprechaun in the Hood. Leprechaun in Space. They're utter garbage, but they're fun. They're fun little movies.
I saw the first one. I don't think I've seen past the first Leprechaun.
You know who made her acting debut in the first Leprechaun? A little trivia for you guys.
Who did?
Oh, man.
Jennifer Aniston.
Who was that you said, Matt?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Jennifer Aniston.
So, the most overrated female in the history. The most overrated female in the history of the world, but okay.
I love Jennifer Aniston.
Really?
I love her. Wow.
So
yeah.
Wow.
Overrated? How could she be overrated?
Yeah. Well, let's see. She's friggin' overrated. I can think of about 1,000 other girls I'd take over Jennifer Aniston. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get what's special about her. Please, somebody explain it to me.
I mean, she was on the show Friends for a million years. That put a lot of popularity. Maybe that's why you think she's overrated. But I think her look,
I just don't think she's that attractive.
Well,
Sandra Bullock or Jennifer Aniston?
She's very average. I mean, above average, but I mean, I
love Sandra Bullock. Now she's ECU, and she's spicy. I think Sandra Bullock is.
Oh, no doubt about it.
We're going to talk celebrities. I'm going to go Danielle Harris. If you don't know who Danielle Harris is, Google it. She's worth a Google.
How about you, Bubba? All right, this is where he drops out. We need to.
No, you guys carry on. I'm multitasking at the moment. So y'all.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys a question. For friends,
Liv Morgan would be another one that I'm really big on. If you don't know
Courtney Cox,
WWE, Liv Morgan.
Are you going Courtney Cox or Jennifer Aniston?
Oh, definitely Jennifer Aniston. It's not even a question.
Phoebe.
Lisa Kudrow? Okay.
Yeah.
Because she plays like the dumb one, but she's actually very smart. It's just funny how they always do that.
I'll pass on Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah, well, good, Matt. We won't ever have to fight over girls. But
in other words, Matt's going to take. If you take him to the prom, it's getting ready to be prom season. Matt's got Jennifer Aniston. I've got Courtney Cox, and you've got Lisa Kudrow.
I don't want any of them. Y'all can have all these mid-90s Friends chicks. What the hell? Must be the slight age difference. You guys are a little bit older than me, not by much, but no, thank you. I don't want any of them. Ugh.
We were in college when that show was on. So, I mean,
there's so many other girls that are way more appealing than those three bimbos from Friends.
So you don't like that show?
The show sucks. Most overrated. It's the equivalent of Jennifer Aniston. It's overrated.
Oh, man. Wow. Okay.
It's definitely no Three's Company. That's for sure.
Oh, I love Three. That's
best
show ever made.
No Suzanne Summers.
I absolutely love Three's Company. They have that on. I have to not watch. Pluto TV. We'll get back to baseball, folks. I'm gonna promise in a second. But Pluto TV, they have like all those channels where you can watch a show continuously. Man, It'll be like 3 or 4 episodes in. I'm like,
Mr. Furley or Mr. Roper? Who do you like better?
Roper.
This is Don
Really?
Knotts, right?
See, I gotta go Furley. Don Knotts.
Legend. Don Knotts is great. There's nothing wrong with Don Knotts. What happened is they gave
his facial expressions are just fantastic.
I love Don Knotts. I don't have a problem. You just ask me which were the two. What happened though, which sucks, is not to get deep into Three's Company. The Ropers had a spinoff for like, it lasted like, I don't, a handful of episodes, I don't even think it lasted a season. They promised the Ropers to come back, and then they didn't let them come back. And they bring in Furley. I have nothing against Furley. It's just like, dude, you did those folks wrong. In fact, there's this weird thing now. Have you guys noticed? There's this weird thing now where they have people dressing as Miss Roper, and they have like this Miss Roper parties where everybody shows up as Miss Roper, like dressed like Miss Roper. It's like on like these college bars or different bars around the country. It's kind of, I doubt they've had it at
The hell,
Subway.
Gag? I can't. You can't even make those jokes anymore. I was about to make a joke. Can't make it in 2024. But yeah, no, I haven't seen any Miss Roper parties.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, Three's Company is definitely, that would be very high on my list. Suzanne Summers, God rest her soul, had a huge crush on her when that show came out. I even thought Terry was very attractive too.
Oh, Terry was fantastic.
Yeah,
Barnes.
Chrissy,
And then Julie Harris.
Janet. Chrissy or Janet?
I'm going Chrissy all the way.
Chrissy, come on.
All the way.
What? Oh, good
You love
Lord.
Suzanne Summers? Yeah.
No.
You're going
You like
Joyce
the short? You like the short hair? Do you there, Matt?
Absolutely, man. You know, it's just, you got to go with the brunette in that situation.
All right. So we're talking classic TV. This is not the classic TV objective; it's a sports objective. So we'll talk baseball.
You know,
now.
I love mid 90s Drew Barrymore. Give me like Drew Barrymore 1995.
I love you, John White. He's one of my favorites and a great pitcher. He said, "Yeah, please don't go down the Gilligan Island girl topic. Don't worry, we won't do that. We'll let you guys do that off air."
I'll take Ginger, John. I'll take Ginger.
All the way Ginger. I'm a Ginger guy for sure. In fact, she just turned 90 years old. Did you know that? Tina Louise. One of my favorite. I love Gilligan's Island. So sorry, John. Anyway, I'm a huge Happy Days fan too. If you're going to throw another, love that show on ABC.
We'll bring it back to baseball with kind of a baseball reference here of sorts. Summer Catch, and the movie talking about the Cape Cod League, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jessica Biel. So I'll throw Jessica Biel out.
In fact, that was shot down in Southport. That great movie. I saw it. It was
a good movie. That's a solid movie.
Yeah, it was better than, it was one of those movies I rented on DVD, and I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't think it was actually better than what I expected. I remember when it came out.
Oh, two of me.
Hey, there's the.
Wow.
Did you referee today?
Double trouble.
There's the guy that refereed third base today. He came up as.
I still haven't seen that picture, so I don't know what to think. Yes.
Justin, what do you think? Do we have the third base umpire there on the screen? You said he looked just like Kyle, so
I want to see the damn picture. I want to see the picture. I will judge if he looks like me or not. But.
Does anyone have the picture? Do we have?
Yeah, Bubba does. And for some reason, he hasn't shared it.
It probably looks so much like you that he's like, it's kind of scary.
Because I'm doing more important things, but I'll.
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I mean, my reaction will be epic.
Put it up on the screen when you can. Oh man,
I got to see this picture now. It's I got to see it. So when Bubba gets a chance, let's throw it up there.
Yeah. By the way, talking about the spring game, and we've got the baseball game there on the 13th. A lot of people going to it. We've got Matt Semenza. We'll see if we can get Kyle there. So that's going to be against. Oh my, and that's right. It's against your favorite team, Matt.
Hopefully we can beat Charlotte in something.
Like Kyle.
Hopefully we can beat Charlotte in something.
Which one is supposed to look like me?
None of them look anything like Kyle. And
what in the blue hell is he talking about? Where am I at? Which one looks like me?
This is kind of
the
like
one looking at the camera.
None of them do. The guy with a great belt there.
Which one? First of all, they're all in better shape than me.
I'm not. I don't get that. Do you, Matt? Are you?
Which one is
this?
supposed to be me?
I don't. From this picture, I cannot see anybody that looks like Kyle. But
I guess Kyle's missing.
sometimes pictures can be deceiving. Sometimes you see somebody in person that's a little different. I can't see anything from this picture.
Is it the guy with his back to the camera?
That's his best side. Yeah.
Maybe that's why Bubba didn't waste his time with the damn picture.
Yeah, I think he.
I'm sorry. I think you guys were. Justin, were you smoking crack today? I mean, I don't.
Yeah, he's over. He's in right. Hey, Matt. He's in the right field in the crack garden.
What?
Oh my God! Bring your pipes. We have a big event coming up in a couple weeks. Bring your pipes to the ballpark.
Which one? Somebody tell me which one's supposed to be me. I'm really confused here. Justin, comment please.
I've been waiting all show. This is the most had in our show.
It's a huge letdown.
Yeah, I really thought it was going to be somewhat close to.
So is Bubba going to leave this up the rest of the show?
I guess so. I mean, literally, I'm going, hey guys, if it's somewhere close to Kyle, then I could bust. I can't even bust on Kyle because it doesn't even look like Kyle. So I can't even make a joke.
I don't know which one's supposed to be me. Which one is supposed to be me?
I don't know. They're talking.
Now, Kyle, does anybody ever tell you that there's somebody that you look like any type of somebody in movies?
When I was skinny. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
He said it's a joke. Oh, okay.
It's only a joke if it's funny. I don't get it. I don't get which one was supposed to look like me. So there's the joke doesn't work. If one of them looked like me, then I would get the joke. Which one was supposed to look like me? I don't get it. I don't.
He says chill.
I don't know. I don't get it. I'm chilled. It just doesn't make any sense.
And Samantha says, ha 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 ha. I don't know.
You might as well put a picture of we lost Dave again. I mean, you might as well put a picture of a black dude up there and said, "Hey, that looks like Kyle."
Your picture on the screen is a little, I think somebody said a little Big Boss Man resemblance there.
Yeah,
we have
that. I can see.
Anyway, yeah.
Right? What do you think of that? How about that one?
Big Boss Man. I could go for that.
In this picture, yes, I definitely see Big Boss Man. Yeah, Ray Traylor, no doubt. Matt, I think it's just me and you at this point. It's a two-man show.
I can hear Dave. You can't hear Dave? I can hear.
I'm
Dave.
here.
I get a spinning icon for Dave right now.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm good.
Y'all have that.
Dave, right.
I'm here. I've been here.
Y'all have that AOL 56K dial-up internet down there in North Carolina.
Oh my God, HughesNet. HughesNet, right?
My Verizon service is the equivalent of web TV right now.
Oh my God, I hadn't thought about that in years. Oh my goodness! And by the way, I brought up, but we were talking about different formats over the weekend. How about Laserdisc? Do you remember how great that was? I'm being sarcastic when I say that. You remember Laserdisc? Am I that old that you guys don't remember Laserdisc? It was like VHS.
I don't know, but apparently we need to get back to baseball. We need to get back to baseball, guys.
All right. What's your feeling about Elon? We're done with obviously this weekend, and great weekend for the Pirates. Moving on to Elon, we talked a little bit about that at the beginning of the program, but obviously people joining us. We've got a big in-state game on the road, midweek game, something that we're going to have to. We obviously have them back on April 9th on the Tuesday, but here we have them in just a couple, not even 48 hours away, and we're going to be playing there at Latham Park.
Elon, always a lot of home runs hit at that park, so it's going to be a high scoring game essentially. Our bullpen seems to get you on balls. is what will happen, but potential for a high scoring game when the Pirates travel to Elon.
Hey, Matt, I think Kyle and Bubba traded internet. Bubba's gone.
Yeah, we're having a lot of technical difficulties tonight. But I think, listen, huge, another in-state opponent. We got to win these Tuesday night games. We really do. And good sign last week to pull that win out in Wilmington. I expect this one to be a dogfight too. And but really, at the end of the day, just get the win and move on. And but I really like the direction this team is trending right now. Like I said earlier, you're starting to get contributions from top to bottom in the lineup. And play complementary baseball. Like just some of the things I saw today with laying down bunts and perfectly executed bunts, moving runners. I think that this team is definitely starting to come together and trend in the right direction. So get the win on Tuesday and let's go.
Hey, by the way, look at this. Look at this stat. JR, useless stat. He says the Pirates have shut out 17 of their 18 opponents in the 5th inning. Thank you, JR. You're Johnny Stats, as he's known. Appreciate you, bro, very much. And Kyle, welcome back.
Yeah, this sucks. I better get my internet fixed tomorrow. It's miserable. Yeah, it's an interesting stat. Tells me that our starting pitching gets a little stronger there towards their pitch count limit before we
Which
go
is a
into the
great
bullpen. So it is. It's interesting. It's a very interesting
the other
stat.
way around.
Yep.
But they would get weaker would be conventional wisdom. But
No, I guess they peak. It's probably they're peaking about the 5th inning, and then they go down from there. Would be my guess. But nonetheless, it's a very interesting stat.
And Matt, we were talking about bullpen, but if you can have your first 2 or 3 guys, the weekend guys, if you can have them go 5-6 innings, man, that would be incredible. That helps us out many ways. But one of the ways is certainly in when the conference tournament and then June for the regional, super regional, we'll have guys that have arms, a lot of arm strength, and certainly they'll be stronger at that point, but probably in better shape than a lot of other pitchers around the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep those arms fresh, peak at the right time. And, like early in the season, you'll see, Cliff will be using a lot of guys in the bullpen, switching pitchers, constantly throughout the game. And, sometimes you don't really understand why that's happening. But at the end of the day, you're getting a lot of guys work. You're keeping arms fresh, and it gives you a chance to go deep into the season, with everybody healthy. So, like you said, maintaining healthy arms, especially from our top 3 starters, is going to be a big factor moving forward.
No doubt. And you think about another thing too, something Matt talks about, so I'll bring it up. I wonder also, not only the analytics, you hear that word is so overused, but analytics plays a part, but also, guys, what about with the transfer portal being so nuts, how much of it is that, that, hey, I need playing time, even if you're a freshman. I know it's situational with Cliff with baseball, and we know he knows more and will forget more about baseball than I'll ever know. But that also is something that's in the back of my mind for sure.
Getting guys playing time?
Yeah, in other words, pitching wise, getting guys in an inning at a time or 2 innings. A lot of these guys.
You want to pitch the guys who are giving us an opportunity to win. If you're not going to give us an opportunity to win, then you can transfer out of here. We don't care. But if
I'm not talking about,
if you're going to give us an opportunity to win, you're going to get playing time.
Yeah, I'm not talking about where everybody has to pitch, like a recreational ball, or where you have to be fair with rotation. I'm just talking about the fact that you've got a lot of young guys coming up. The Norbies, a lot of those guys are young and they need work. But at the same time, like you said, we got to win. So and another thing, guys, I was thinking about before we start to wrap this things up. I don't know if Bubba's coming back, but to also say that we're sitting pretty right now because we're the number 11 country. And what are we looking for? We're looking looking right now, we're on the bubble right now. See how it goes, but I think we're sitting pretty as far as it's ours to lose, meaning hosting a regional. So we'll see how it plays out. But as I said earlier in the show, so far so good with this team, and I'm just really excited about. I don't know about you guys, but I know they have to have a break a few days. But when we're not playing baseball, I know it's pretty much 4 out of 7 days. But I really look forward to those the games. I know it can't be daily, but it would be nice.
A lot of baseball to be played. We're going to have to win the American if we're going to have a chance to host, I would think. And we need, with the competition in this region this year, I think we're definitely going to have to win the American, and we're going to need to pull off some nice midweek wins against the likes of Duke, et cetera, as the season goes.
NC State,
yeah, obviously.
Campbell.
But yeah, Campbell definitely was where they are in the RPI if that continues. But the ACC teams will come up in the RPI as they play in league play. So we're going to have our opportunities. It should be up to us if we're going to host or not. If we handle our business, we will. Conference play starts this weekend with UTSA. Need to go to San Antonio and at least take 2 out of 3.
So, Matt? What are your final thoughts before we get out of here?
Final thoughts, basically, like I was just saying, I think we're trending in the right direction. You're starting to see this team really round into form, in my opinion, in terms of, especially with the bats and just getting more contributions from different guys. And I think that's a good sign. The emergence of Bristol Carter is huge. Will Coxon, getting him going, especially his power bat, is going to be huge for this team. And so seeing him, go yard today, that made me really happy to see that. So I like what I'm seeing right now. And like I said, just find a way to get this W against Elon and get out of there with a win, and you're moving in the right direction. So I'm encouraged right now by what I see.
No doubt. We want to thank our great sponsor is pgxgloves.com. Mark Menikazi, of course, Randy Mazie era. Easy for me to say. And Kyle, they've got a lot of cool stuff, don't they? At PGX
Yeah,
Gloves.
pgxgloves.com. Go get your kids some batting gloves, baseball, softball, football, receiver gloves. Maybe you play golf, you need some golfing gloves. Again, I said last week, if you need to hide your fingerprints in the commission of a crime, pgxgloves.com's got you hooked up for that too. pgxgloves.com. Go put in promo code ECU at checkout. Save yourself 20%.
Help the baseball team out by going to the23club.org. That's a special collective part, a spinoff, if you will, from Team Boneyard. And you can sponsor our great baseball team. What a great thing. And also, speaking of sponsors, want to thank our good friend Ed Watkins as he sponsors Absolute Empowerment with our great friend, now coach, former strength coach, and he's awesome, Jeff Connors. And it's brought to you by the great show Absolute Empowerment is by Ed Watkins Marine. And they're great, edwatkinsmarine.com. Man, I tell you what today, guys, they've got 2 locations in Denver, North Carolina, that is, and the Cornelius area. Of course, that's Charlotte area, for those that don't know. And I tell you what, Matt, I want a big pontoon boat on a day like today, and we can have a lot of fun. And what do you think? And be on the river or
oh, absolutely, man. I'm a big fan of the pontoon boats, and appreciate Big Ed. Ed's a great guy, and really happy for him. All his success. He's got a great business going, and appreciate all the support.
All right, guys. So don't forget, that'll be tomorrow night. I believe it's 7:00 for the latest episode of Absolute Empowerment. We'll definitely be back next week for Extra Innings. Until next time, you've been watching and listening to Extra Innings right here on the Sports Objective. Good night, everybody, and go Pirates.
That concludes this week's edition of Extra Innings, presented by pgxgloves.com on the Sports Objective. Join us again next Sunday night as we will again talk East Carolina Pirate baseball. Be sure to follow the Sports Objective on social media. It can be found at the Sports OBJ on X, at the Sports Objective on Instagram and TikTok. Like and follow the show on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell and all so you're alerted on your device anytime we go live or upload new content. As always, we appreciate you watching and listening to the show. Go Pirates!